What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Farm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Preview Show. We are looking at the Tuesday 11-game main slate. It is trade deadline day at the time of our recording. We are here on Monday evening, and deals continue to happen around the league. Yusei Kikuchi going from the Blue Jays to the Astros. Monday night setter Jake Bloss got scratched. Like, interesting. Well, now we know why. He is going as part of that deal to Toronto. Ahmed Rosario, as the Tampa Bay Rays continued their fire sale, heading to the Dodgers, who also had acquired Tommy Edman earlier in the day. So revamping their infield depth there and outfield with Rosario as well. We had Lane Thomas, seemingly out of nowhere, get traded from the Nationals to the Guardians in a deal for some prospects there. The Guardians sending their second-round pick from last draft, over to Washington there. So plenty of more names rumored to be in deals here. So obviously, again, we are recording prior to the trade deadline, so take that as it is. Myself and Henry Henry Wilson will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I believe the deadline is 4, right, during the day, or is it? Yeah. So we'll have all the deals done by the time that we go live, but which is good. Means our Tuesday lineups will be safe. We'll have an idea of who's in and out.
6 p.m. It's 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
An hour before games is the deadline.
6 p.m.
Because there's 6:40 games.
There's also a 6 p.m. deadline.
All right, well, that's pretty brutal. So we won't know, but we'll lead into it then. We'll know before roster lock, I guess. That at least we know. We'll know before the 7 p.m. roster lock who's in and who's out, but we'll be talking through the final hour of that deadline then, which should be a fun show, I guess. Right? The 5 to 6 hour, the deadline day, but
this is what I got for you.
Yeah, exactly. So be on the lookout for your lineups and who's in and out of that. And keep that in mind as we go position by position here and break it all down, because we may talk about somebody in a great spot with a great matchup and the lineup, and then they could be traded. So all of that fun stuff here. Let's get into it though. Pitching, top price starter on the board, Tyler Glasnow. We have Luis Castillo, $9,200. Hunter Brown at $9K is your top 3 price starting pitchers here. Glasnow, obviously, last time out, came back, 91 pitches, didn't look sharp against the Giants there. Padres, obviously, a little bit of a tough team. I don't know if you trust the 10K price tag on Tyler Glasnow there. Luis Castillo on the road as a righty against Boston. I think we may have learned our lesson with Logan Gilbert here on Monday, not to tempt that fate again. $9,200, and then Hunter Brown against Pittsburgh, looking like a much more favorable spot for us there at 9K.
Yeah, this is the Hunter Brown tier, I'd say. Like, Glasnow hadn't looked good going into his injury stint, and didn't look great coming out of it either. 4 walks is kind of brutal. I like the pitch count, but for 10K we need strikeouts. San Diego doesn't strike out, so it's pretty tough to get to Glasnow or want to get to Glasnow. Luis Castillo. The difference is, like, Logan Gilbert had been good on the road until this start.
Right.
Luis Castillo not good on the road, and now is watching his team just get smacked up. So it's really just Hunter Brown or bust. Hunter Brown had that one blip against Minnesota when Minnesota was like the hottest team in baseball offensively, and then surrounding that start, it's just been dynamite. I mean, he's allowed no more than 2 runs in any start since June 8th. That's a span of 10 starts. He might actually, looking at it, that 7 runs he allowed against Minnesota is more than he's allowed in every start combined since June 8th.
It's making his autograph card here a little bit more valuable for me here, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and like the good thing about Hunter Brown is everything's on the ground and everyth's a strikeout. Like, those are the outs. He doesn't allow a lot of
one fly ball out against Oakland.
And like that's an offense that we have like respected a tremendous amount.
Yeah, 100%. scary Oakland A's, man. Like
Yeah.
Lawrence Butler out here hitting 500 for 2 months. Yeah, 100% in on Hunter Brown here because, again, I'm not touching Castillo. How many home runs does Luis Castillo give up? Multiple home runs, right? For sure.
Multiple. Yeah, multiple.
And then, yeah, Glass a little bit scary. We go below. We have Justin Steele in Cincinnati at 88. Cincinnati certainly has some guys that can hit left-handed pitching. Steele, certainly a pretty good pitcher overall. Michael Wacha, I feel like could be. I mean, this is an interesting tier. Wacha against the White Sox on the road. Scherzer against St. Louis. Robbie Ray at home against the A's. The A's who have a ton of power against left-handed pitching, but Ray coming off of a no-hitter in his debut, 5 innings there. And Waldron against the Dodgers, not going to touch that spot. But, talk to me about this AK tier.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough tier because Steele has largely been good. He battled that in the Milwaukee start, was not good against Arizona, but had been dynamite in the starts leading up to the All-Star break. Cincinnati is a small ballpark, obviously not favorable for pitching. So good, he's fine for tournaments. I don't love the Wacha price. More. I think that's what kind of hangs me up there at 8,700. I know it's Chicago. I probably should have more interest.
Yeah.
8,700 is just not a price that I love. I'm not totally against it because it's the White Sox.
The recency bias is the boost right there. I just faced them 2 starts ago, 7 shutouts, 7 Ks.
Yeah, what if they trade Luis Robert? Then we're talking about an offense that has
led by Benintendi. Like what's Aloy, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I get it. If that's where you end up, I get it.
Yep.
Scherzer, coming off his best start of the year for sure. So,
9 Ks again.
Also the White
Sox.
The Cardinals have been a much better offense, so you don't need to.
Yeah, they got to Eovaldi in the first inning in this one. Matt Carpenter, of all things, went yard off Nathan Eovaldi. Now, Eovaldi's since settled down since then. It's been the only real damage he's given up this entire game. I'm less in on Scherzer because, again, he's been fine, right? But he's been a little bit shaky. The Robbie Ray one, I think, is interesting, right? Yes, because I mean, this dude is really good during his rehab run. Like, whole lot of strikeouts. Goes up against the Dodgers. 5 innings, 8 strikeouts in that game. No hits. Still gave up a run because he walked 2, hit 2 in the first inning of that game. But it's like, what is real? Do the A's have Brent Rooker on their team still? Because he's been a guy that has been rumored to be dealt.
So they said they're reluctant to trade Rooker. The latest report.
But there are a lot of teams that are inquiring about his availability. So all it takes is one team to include a guy,
sure.
And all of a sudden he's gone. But either way, at home, Robbie Ray, Pitchers Park, against an Oakland team who we've talked all season, they're always a top 5 team in ISO against left-handed pitching. Now they're everything. They're just hitting everybody, so it doesn't really matter as much. But do you 8,200 for Robbie Ray here? Do you give that some serious consideration? 86 pitches in his debut. There's probably no pitch count here.
No, there's not going to be a pitch count. Oakland has a 912 team OPS in the month of July.
No. Here's the thing, right? Any recent data on Oakland is going to be
elite.
Overall this year, until this past 30 days, 3 weeks, they really haven't been that good outside of just ISO.
Right.
So what's your exposure range for Robbie Ray at $8,200?
I mean, you look at I think it also factors in the rest of the pitching tier.
Sure.
Isn't great. I would definitely have a lot. I have a lot of interest in Robbie Ray in tournaments. There's also a case to play Oakland, right? That you could do either of those things. But
it's the Nick Pivetta thing, right? If we go and look at ownership tomorrow and Robbie Ray is 35%, like Nick Pivetta was today, and you're like, all right, well, Oakland's been the hottest team offense in baseball. I'll throw Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker, and whatever out there and Langoliers, and we'll see what we get. And maybe they'll knock off the chalk pitcher, or we get the other way. Nick Pivetta is shoving right now at 40% rostered, and if you didn't play him, you ain't cashing tonight. So, I think it can go both ways. But you're not wrong. I mean, after that, you go down. Shamanaya, who we had played a couple of times, hasn't really worked out all that well. More recently, gets Minnesota here. Lance Lynn, Frankie Montas in Cincinnati. James Paxton's back in Boston, pitching against Seattle here. Don't like that. Cal Quantrill's slightly appealing. Given the fact that they're in LA, I don't mind the matchup against the Angels here. But I don't know what we would do next. I mean, we picked on Colorado pretty heavily. You've mentioned Griffin Canning here and there. Like, is this do we just close our eyes and see if Griffin Canning can come through at one point?
I mentioned Griffin Canning specifically in the Seattle matchup.
I know,
where I was like,
he pitched well.
He did pitch well, and I will grant you that this is like a similar spot, right? It's a team that strikes out a lot, that struggles quite mightily. As Seattle has now suddenly woken up, John. Back-to-back home,
finally scoring runs.
A Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh back-to-back home runs.
There you go.
So
we are getting the Nick Pivetta Oakland start then, where he gives up like 3 or 4 runs, but it has
quite literally just that start.
Yeah.
But I think Canning is a guy. I don't think anyone expected Griffin Canning to be this bad, because he's never been this bad. He's been a serviceable MLB pitcher. Yeah. And honestly, if he was on any other team, he wouldn't be pitching probably. But he's been on the Angels.
What has been concerning really is the strikeout drop. This guy's been a 9+ K per 9 guy for his career the last 4 years. 6.4.
Yeah, he's literally not even sniffing anything.
He's always had home run problems. 1.6 this year, 1.5 last year, 2 home runs per 9 in 2021. So home runs always been a big problem for him. But if he's not missing bats now, it's very difficult to and he's not getting unlucky. He's at a 5 ERA. His xERA is 4.85. His xFIP is 4.88. This is literally a play where I'm not even sure he's honestly cheap enough, because he was 57 and 58, and now he's 67. So like maybe I'm talking a lot for a play that I don't even like now that I pay more attention to the cost here, but. I mean, we just saw pretty much every pitcher in Colorado or in San Francisco just shut down that Rockies lineup the other day. So,
yeah. I mean, I think you're right from the perspective of like, it's not as cheap as it was, but I'd still consider it. I do think that there's probably merit to like Quantrill, Canning. I do think that there could even be potential to like take a look at someone like Ryan Nelson, depending on what Washington looks like at the end of. I mean, I understand that Nelson hasn't been good. We're talking about a guy who's $6,300. He had been good though, going into that Kansas City start. Yep. And when you think about Washington, they just dealt one of their best hitters. Now that guy in Lane Thomas is obviously superior against left-handed pitching much better than he.
A lot of stolen bases though, right?
But Nelson obviously is going to get a watered down version of Washington because they're financing their future, right?
And he still doesn't give up home runs.
So
like they're just beating him on hits.
Yep. And
if you're taking away good hitters from that lineup, like, maybe less hits happen here. They call Alex Call is back with them. We talked about that when they traded Jesse Winker. He's sitting like, I think, cleanup for them tonight. Right. It's like that lineup it's not good. It's not a good lineup. So yeah, maybe Ryan Nelson at home here. Home road splits aren't helping him. He's way better on the road than he is at home, but for 6,300, maybe a bit more palatable pill to swallow. Are you going anywhere else?
To catcher.
Okay, to catcher we go. We do have another lefty going up against Arizona rather. So Gabe Moreno, Patrick Corbin day, $3,400.
Dude, it's been tough. I'm gonna
Patrick
say
Clemens
it.
hasn't as been giving as he has been in past seasons. That
Dude,
that
one
is
home
accurate.
run. I mean, look at the there's obviously some earlier in the year, there's a lot of multi-home run games. Not a lot lately, and not even the runs. Sure, 8 hits, 6 hits, 8 hits. But three, four, four, one, three earned runs, it's just not
Yeah.
as fruitful as it was.
For a guy that's got a over 5 ERA and a 2-10 record, I feel like I've failed stacking against him more than I've succeeded. So,
I will grant you, super elite spot
very
because
elite.
Arizona is so good against
We're going
lefties.
right back to Ketel Marte. We're going right back to Lourdes Gurriel.
Gabe Moreno here is free.
Yeah, yep. We're right back into that whole same stack we played on Tuesday when they had Mush Parker there as their pitcher. So yeah, Moreno $3,400. But obviously there's a lot of bad pitching on this slate, so you can pick and choose whatever one you want. I think either Boston catcher could be fine. Like they want Danny Jansen against lefties, but this year Jansen's actually hitting righties better. Connor Wong just hits in general. We don't have to worry about the lefty-righty splits anymore. They don't have a left-handed catcher. Both of them are righties, so fine stacking against Castillo there in the mid-tier. Yanni or Diaz against Bailey Falters at 43. Happy to go there. What else are you possibly looking at here?
Nothing off the top. We'll see. I mean, we'll see when the lineups come out.
Okay. Value. Let's see. Garver versus Paxton's 36.
Yeah, Garver. I'm going right back to the well with Seattle for sure.
I'm sure you are. And you know what? And this time, I'm good with that. That's fine. I don't know why James Paxton is back here. So there's not a single metric at any point at all that has Paxton as a good pitcher. I did see one person from StatCast break down his breaking ball usage and batting average against breaking balls versus batting average against fastballs. And basically they're hitting 490 off his fastball and 230 or something like that off his breaking pitches. And we know Andrew Bailey is just implemented a strict breaking ball only strategy here. So maybe that's the plan, but I don't think so. I'm with you there. And then we'll see what the lineups look like you said, as we work our way down. Maybe Christian Vasquez at 3K if he finds himself in a lineup. First base. What are we doing?
I mean, definitely can get to Ohtani, Christian Walker. Those two stand out right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what Joe Ross has to offer. He's going to be activated off the IL and start this game. Olsen potentially an option there if he homers in 2 of 3. Spencer Steer gets a lefty and Justin Steele. Not the best spot ever, but obviously he's good against left-handed pitching.
Yeah.
Pasquantino has been good just hitting, no power, but Jonathan Cannon has been shellacked in the past. We'll see Isaac Paredes make his debut for the Cubs.
I was going to say, what's the Montes splits here?
It's been lefty. It's been lefty, but it's also they're just bad. He's just been really bad lately.
Definitely lefties. 2 homers per 9 to lefties this year, only 0.6 to righties. Righties at home. He hasn't given up a home run to a righty at home this year.
That is very interesting.
So maybe no Paredes for us that time around. Let's see. Value. I would go back to Michael Busch. $3,800.
Yeah, I'd go back to Michael Busch for sure.
Get the lefty there against Montes. Nathaniel Lowe, 38. Probably Dom Smith. Yeah. Dom Smith, 3,200. Yeah.
I mean, I guess is Ty France going to be in the lineup for Cincinnati?
I mean, he's been so bad. Do you even want to throw him in right away?
I don't.
All right, second base then, the Ketel Marte position. Though him and Altuve both have lefties, so
True.
Willie Castro also has a lefty. So our three lefty second baseman mashers are all on the board here.
I lean how they're priced, but obviously the discount is Castro. But I think Marte has been the best.
Yeah, let's see if it's been a little bit since I looked at the Castro lefty splits. He was hitting like 400 against them for a stretch.
He was.
Versus lefties, 323 now for him. So obviously coming down a little bit. 198 ISO, still looking pretty strong. 380 WOBA for Willie Castro there. Hamilton, they've been hitting him at the bottom of the lineup now that they're back healthy. So you got to deal with like the Rafaela Hamilton 8-9 split. But so I don't know, $4,600 if I want to really pay that price tag. Terang's been struggling. It's Elder. Massey. Just keep going back to Massey at 41.
If he's gonna lead off, it's fine, right? He's obviously has been struggling lately.
Yeah. When does Edmund get activated?
He is very close.
No.
Will he make his debut? I mean, they said he hadn't played in the field yet at AA. He's just been DHing, so I assume they'd want to play.
We got Lux here at 3,200.
We do. Yeah, Gavin Lux, dude. That dude. This is like a little bit of the confusing part to me. One, I assume Mookie Betts goes back to the outfield when he returns. That would be my first assumption, just given all the acquisitions the Dodgers made. But then they get Muncy back. Who's the odd man out? Is Rosario and Lux just splitting time?
Well, Rosario can play the outfield, so
he can. I guess that's fair.
Because they were using Vargas in the outfield at times as well.
Yeah, but isn't Mookie now just your outfield? And Edmund can technically play the outfield too.
Yeah, Edmund was playing outfield. They have a lot of versatility. So
they do. And I think, I think that's like, I forget who tweeted that, but one of the beat writers tweeted or somebody tweeted, if they didn't get like the splash play, then like getting versatility mattered. But you just have now, when everyone's back, Mookie, Muncy, Edmund, Rosario, Freeman, Lux. It's just
they have a lot of guys that can play a lot of positions, which is obviously helpful. When does Mookie Betts come back? Is he near a return here? It's been out for a very long time.
I don't know if it's near, but I know he is swinging a bat. Okay. So, I mean, we're swinging a bat. I don't think that's
soon be, as of yesterday, could soon be cleared to take batting practice. So a mid-August return is the potential there. So we're still 3 weeks away from a Mookie Betts return there. So,
but obviously close. Like that's still obviously.
And then dude, we got kind of jobbed, honestly. Because I wanted to see what that lineup was going to look like. Mookie, Ohtani, Freeman, that was. We only got like a month of it. 2 weeks of it, right?
Best hitting catcher in baseball, like that.
Yeah, Will Smith. Yeah, right. Craziness. All right. So that was second base. Gavin Lux. Nothing really down here any further.
Luis Garcia. No, Ryan Nelson's reverse splits, right?
Yeah, but he also, he's just not hit. He also, I don't know. The fact that we go over this, the fact that he doesn't give up home runs, I don't want to play that because you need home runs to win tournaments, right? Unless they score a whole bunch of runs without home runs, but that doesn't seem unlikely. Third base here, Devers versus Castillo, obviously feels like a bingo play. Any of the top three: Riley versus Joe Ross, Royce Lewis versus Minaya, and Devers versus Castillo. More than happy to play any of those guys.
Yep. Luis Rengifo is priced like he's in course.
Yeah, priced like he's in course and also not a lefty. So
he's switch hitter.
No, I mean Quantrill, not a lefty.
Oh yeah. You're saying like that's the split.
Yeah. No, I know.
Just checking.
Jalen Beeks traded to the Pirates. So no significance there. Pirates getting some bullpen help. Mid-tier, Josh Smith and Bregman both get lefties. Lynn and Falter. Let's see. McMahon down to 4,200. I get they're not in cores, but like
He's also been so
we talk.
bad.
Like I
You
get
know
it.
who's back? Josh Jung.
Ooh.
Remember we talked about Monday, and then he was just suddenly
Just
activated.
all of a sudden he's
Yeah, it was activated.
okay.
I know it's not a lefty, and obviously Josh Jung has been out for a long time. There's been significant wrist issue. It was
he missed all that time and they only had him play 3 rehab games.
And it was also I think it's also like kind of awkward. He didn't like they activated him Monday just to have him on the bench. Like he didn't start.
Right.
So
Well, I would have to assume he's going to play this game.
I would assume so as well. I'm just saying, like, just why would you not at least like I don't know.
I would play him at 4K.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really
good baseball player.
He's a really good baseball player. A lot of power. Dylan Moore, you want to go back to that? Well, power versus lefties here.
Yeah, dude, I like Seattle. I like Seattle a lot here.
Suarez also right there, same price, gets Corbin. Let's see. Work our way down. Novelli's 32. That's probably it. Who got sent down for? No, they recalled. So they recalled Ezekiel Duran for this game, and they activated
Foscue got sent down earlier.
Okay.
Tyler Nevin will probably be in the lineup for. They've been hitting him 5th against lefties since he got recalled. So
yeah,
I know it's been. There was like that one stretch this year that he was good and everything else has been trash. But if he's hitting 5th, like that's if you're interested in Oakland, that's obviously
sure. Shortstop has the top end guys here. Bobby Witt versus Cannon. Obviously, Ellie's on the wrong side of his split, so I'm going to fade him at 63. Lindor.
I think blanket statement. You can always play Ellie. Just I know it's the wrong end of the split, but like all he needs to do is get on base, and then next thing
they gave him a day off on Monday because he must have ran too hard on Sunday. So
like let's say Ellie gets 1 single, right? Steals second, 8, steals third, 13, scores a run, 15 points. Like that's just saying. I think I agree. I largely agree. I'm not saying I'm like gung ho about Ellie, but I think blanket statement you can always pay Ellie De La Cruz because of the ceiling.
Yeah, that's fair. Yes, he's like Ohtani and all those guys. You can always play him. I am not going to play him here. So you guys can. I am not going to. John Candelario just homered as we're talking about Reds. Yeah, I'll play Lindor versus Festa. Happy to do that. Let's see. Abrams versus Nelson's not really.
Yeah.
Seager versus Lynn. I mean, listen, if Josh Jung is good, that changes that lineup dynamic a little bit, man. Like,
yes, it does.
He's such a dangerous hitter. And I wonder where they hit him.
Probably right in the middle,
5th, because like they've been hitting Josh Smith like cleanup 3rd.
Well, they led Josh Smith off on. I wonder if that's in preparation of what's to come. I mean, I guess Semien was off, so
I said, yeah, Semien. It should be Semien, Seager, and then what? Jung,
Semien, Seager, Jung,
Adolis, Smith, Heim.
No, Nathaniel Lowe.
Where does Wyatt Langford fill in?
Ooh, that's a good point. We'll see.
And Carter's on a rehab assignment right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah, so that should be it, dude. Rangers interesting.
But like, why are we even bothering? Tyler Fitzgerald, 4,400 lefty.
Yeah,
does it matter?
JP Sears.
I mean, like, I get that this Jeremy Lin run is every Jeremy Lin run comes to an end, right?
He lost his second base eligibility.
He did. This Jeremy Lin run might be better than Jeremy Lin's Jeremy Lin run.
Jeremy Lin had a couple of Jeremy Lin runs though. So
no, but like the
Knicks
Jeremy Lin, the Knicks Jeremy Lin run, like that's what Tyler Fitzgerald's on, and he's doing it against lefties in like massive quantities.
My favorite Jeremy Lin story is when he was on the Hornets and the security wouldn't let him in the stadium. So they didn't know who he was. He's like, I play for this team.
I am on this team. Can you
gotta
let
me in the building. Yeah.
Can you please let me in the building?
Let's see. We got Adames head home versus Elder as a righty. Could be in play again. As bad as Colorado's been, Canning, you can always just go against him. Pena is 41. I like Sedan at 4. You pointed out the other day, Raphael has been way better against righties and lefties.
Way better against righties,
yeah. So you got him at 4K.
Yep. You can play Dylan Moore here.
Play Moore here. Yeah. Perdomo 29.
Schumann 28. Both those months.
Yeah. I just don't think anyone's playing Oakland with Robbie.
I don't either. I'm not even like, I don't even think Oakland's stats against lefties are great. But
sure.
Yeah.
All right. Outfield, fun position to go here. Ohtani, Waldron, 66. Duran, 6K against Castillo. Ozuna, Jordan, O'Neill, Rooker, like just sweep the board here really on that top group.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously play Ohtani. You can obviously Jarren Duran having another just monster night with multiple extra bases.
Every Red Sox player is.
Yeah, every Red Sox player. Ozuna homers every night. Jordan hits lefties better than he hits righties. No wrong answers above 5K. Also, a lot of injured players above 5K, but no wrong answers for the ones that aren't.
Probably won't play Reynolds here because I like Hunter Brown too much.
Yeah, that I agree with. I almost glossed over Brian Reynolds because of all the injured players. He's just in the middle of all of them.
Nimmo versus Festa at 5K. Bellinger did get activated. We talked about Montes versus righties, but Montes versus lefties has not been a good split for him. So Montes versus lefties in Cincinnati here could get Cody Bellinger kind of back into the groove of things potentially. Yep. Buxton hits second, has a good night going right now. Gets a lefty again at $4,800, so I'd be willing to run that one out there. Randy Arozarena is homered tonight, as you mentioned. He continues to be on fire. Happy to run that at 47.
Yep.
Against Paxton for sure.
Yep.
What else you got for us?
I mean, Jorge Soler has been on one of those Jorge Soler-ish runs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of walks, dude. Yeah. I mean, all the walks from Soler have been kind of insane. And yeah, as the leadoff hitter, 4,300 for Soler. Dude, a Soler Fitzgerald top of that stack. Like, I'm not full bore.
I'm good with it. It's JP Sears, man.
Yeah. Like, a lot of fly balls. So Soler, I think, is a little bit too cheap. Weiler at 42. He's having another big game. So is Yoshida having a monster game. So you can play either of them.
Pray for Luis Castillo here in this.
Hopefully they didn't hit themselves out of it. You know, I mean,
it's possible. It's possible.
Got a gajillion runs going here, and who knows when they're going to stop? Because every time I think they're going to stop, they just do it
again. Yeah, you got Lourdes and Kelnick right there.
Yep, I didn't mean to gloss over Lourdes. I just got.
No, good spots for that there. Jesse Winker's 4K. Butler is a lefty, so I don't know.
Dude, it does not matter.
I don't know.
Matter. You want to play him? Lawrence Butler is who Angels fans think Mike Trout is, okay?
Everybody's scrambling around, being like, where did this guy come from here? Let's see. Bonet, McCarthy, fan. Not really. You mentioned Yoshida, obviously, he's 37. That's a good price tag on him.
He's been so good. He has been so good. I would get to Yoshida. Margot's going to lead off.
That trio kind of right there. Even Jacob Young you can kind of include because he has stolen base upside, but Chorio hitting 5th today.
Yep.
They're going to either hit him at the middle of the lineup versus righties and the top of the lineup versus lefties. He's youngest player in baseball, and he's on fire right now. So, like him, Margot, you're right. Like, not really a good player, but they'll hit him at the top of their lineup.
He's a lefty hitting specialist, right? That's what he does. He's
been in the league forever, dude. He was a Red Sox prospect. I want to say he was traded in like the Adrian Gonzalez deal. like
Manny Margot.
Yeah, like way back in the day.
Just around, that just happened, right? That trade.
Yeah, 10 years ago, like maybe more.
Jazz Chisholm just homered for the second time tonight.
Wow,
second Yankees.
good.
Game.
Yeah, they're scoring a lot of runs. A lot of runs are being scored on the day here. So I also like Jake Myers at Falter 35. I mentioned Young here. I think most of Milwaukee outfield will be in play for me. Mitchell, Frelick.
In that Kikuchi trade,
Yeah.
the Blue Jays got Jake Bloss and Joey Loperfido.
Wow.
Returning to Toronto, and also Will Wagner. But Loperfido and Bloss obviously have made their have already been in the big leagues. I think the Loperfido thing is a little interesting.
That's kind of a haul for them, right?
It's a great haul. Yeah, it's a good haul for Kikuchi. Yeah, it's a good haul.
Robles $3,300.
Yeah, he has always actually been good against lefties. He's obviously just been good general, so he's too cheap still.
That's probably it for me. Anybody for you?
Robles.
Isabella,
we'll see. Well, obviously, we'll see. Yeah, Isabel against the righty. He's
and Melendez 3K still.
Yep. We'll see. Where was it? I just missed it. Grishik will hit right in the middle of that order for Arizona at 32. Can't go Benson. Not going to play Grossman. We'll see if Pittsburgh leads. Hunter Brown.
I don't mind Pete Armstrong down here at 28. He got a lefty bat versus.
He's been pretty good.
Montes, yeah.
He's been pretty good.
I mean, he's like a top 30 prospect.
And he's like the fastest human alive. So
yeah. And he's got a little pop. Like he's got bat speed pop, right? He doesn't have like power, but he's got bat speed power. So can get some stuff there.
Did you see Derek Hill is now in the Giants? He was claimed off waivers, and in his like second game with the team, 2 hits, a triple, another righty lefty matchup for the Giants. So
sure. All right, we got a lot to kind of figure out here lineup wise. Pitching, we were in on Brown, and then was it Ray?
Yeah, I think Robbie Ray makes a bunch of sense.
Right? And Gabe Moreno, the catcher.
Yeah, I think Robles probably, even though like obviously it didn't work out.
I am fine going against Paxton. If he beats us, then he beats us. That's just.
It's also like he pitched so poorly, but had the Dodgers ballpark by his side.
Yeah.
And now he has to and I know he was good in Fenway last year, but like it's still not a good pitching environment.
I agree.
For guys who, so we're starting value at Soler. I mean, are you against like the Fitzgerald Soler man game?
Where was he? 43. So we got 4,100 for an outfielder or a first baseman if we're looking to spend up for one. We haven't really done any Boston. Dom Smith's 32.
Yeah, that's probably
5K. Does that? I mean,
probably accurate. That's probably pretty accurate.
Would you get off Robles and go to like Yoshida here?
Yeah. Or off of Soler and just play Fitzgerald as a one-off.
Okay, I can do that too. And that gives us
because Robles, and then we can maybe get like to Duran. I don't know, like possibly. Are we like just off Jaron Duran?
We're close.
$400.
Let's see. Is there cheaper third
we punt catcher Christian Vasquez 3K?
Yeah, that works. Where is he? 3K 37. Works for me.
We the Josh Jung thing would probably be the only other.
Yeah, well, we don't have $300 to get there, so I mean, is there?
No, I didn't see anything.
Not really anything down there. Maybe if they play face.
Yeah.
Get off Robles, keep Robles. All right. So let's go back to Vasquez and Moore or Eugenio?
More.
Okay. Brown, Ray, Vasquez, Smith, Marte, Moore, Fitzgerald, Yoshida, Robles, and Duran. As our lineup here going Boston stack, Boston Seattle game stack. Got a couple of Diamondbacks or a Diamondback in our lineup. Brown and Ray as the pitchers. Henry Wilson will be on your playbook. We'll be back live. Remember, it is trade deadline day, everybody. So be on the lookout for all the news happening around the league. Till then, we'll catch you later.